Video, I'm going to be showing you basically the main floor roughing that I just finished. So basically, this is the front of the house. As you can see, I have my security wire that will be for the door contact. Also have one keypad here for the security alarm system. And then I have my Lutron cables for my lighting controls. And in this room here, it's basically going to be a office. As you can see, I have my receptacles, which is going to be going into the baseboards. That's one data plug. These are our receptacles. I'm going to have my switches for inside to control my lighting. It's going to be 4-pot lights inside this area. Also, I have my speaker cable. There's going to be a speaker inside this area. And then there's going to be one receptacle coming from the floor for his office. This is going to be a washroom. I'm going to have my LED mirror. I'm going to have my GFI receptacle. I'm going to have my receptacle for my toilet. And then I'm going to have, this will be for my switches for the 4-pot lights that are in here, along with one fan. I'll leave that area. And I'm going to be going into the living area. All my receptacles are basically low down for the baseboards. This one receptacle will be for the fireplace. Okay, a gas fire. There's going to be a gas fireplace here. And also in this room, we're going to have one TV and one data in this room. And inside this living area, I'm going to have, there's 6 spotlights in here. As you can see, there's 6 spotlights. There's going to be 2 speaker cables, one here and one there. There's also going to be a center light. And as you can see, I also made sure my wires are neatly clipped with some 2x4 on the top. That way when the guys install the drywall, my wires don't get damaged. These are my security wires and my Lutron cable. Security wire for the windows and shade windows. This is another security cable and also another Lutron cable for the shade windows. This also is the same thing here. And then up top, I'm going to have, you can see I have one box in the corner. That's going to be for the LED strip lights across, all the way across the ceiling here. So I'm going to start my LED lights in the corner and go all the way across. These will be my switches for this room, controlled by another switch here, which is a 3-way switch. Then I will go into this room here. This is basically, I have my 2 receptacles in this one room here. There's going to be 4 receptacles. Then there's another receptacle that will be here. And this is my switch to control this entire room of lighting with 6 spotlights in this room. And then I'm going to have one center light. I'm going to have 2 speaker cables, one here, one there. Leave that area. I'm going to go into the main entrance area where I'm going to have one receptacle, and then I will have another receptacle by code as you enter. Then there will be another receptacle here. Then I will go into this room here. This is going to be a washroom where I'll have my LED mirror connection, my GFI. Okay, I'm going to have two pendant lights inside the washroom. I'm going to have also two lights, spotlights, one fan, and my switch. This is basically going to be the toilet. It's a different type of toilet. I've never seen it before. It's the first time, but it doesn't need any connections like I've been showing you in my past videos. Like that one, that's a receptacle for a toilet. This receptacle doesn't get one. Then I will go into this area. This area is going to have one plug here, and I'm going to have 6 spotlights. So also going to get some strip light top along with my switch. I'll leave that area. I'm going to go into this area here. This is going to be a sink of some sort here with a receptacle, along with 2 pot lights on the outside. This switch will control my pot lights. Up as a Mario. And then I'm going to go into this area here where I will have, this is basically going to be the nanny kitchen where I have my 3 pot lights here. And then I have one in this corner. That wire that's up high is basically for the lighting that's going to go into the cabinetry. And then you'll see my wires that are all sticking out. This wire here is for my dishwasher. This will be a 120 amp receptacle here. This will be my fridge. That will be another 20 amp receptacle. And this wire that's sticking out is basically for the under cabinet receptacle. There's going to be a stove here. So the reason why I have 2 outlets is if I am going to be providing a receptacle for a gas stove, I still have to install my regular receptacle just in case the customer or the homeowner decides to move out and the other homeowner doesn't want a gas stove. They will have a regular stove outlet already installed, and that's required by code. This will be for my microwave, and as you can see, my wires are all strapped down in the center. This area here is going to be, there's going to be a walk-in fridge inside this area with 1 pot light. And then I will go into this area here. This is going to be the main kitchen area. This is going to be a wall oven. So I have to use number 8 wire for my wall oven. And you can see I have my backing. It's a 4x11 16 box. So by code, I have to use the 2x8 or 2x4 so this box doesn't move once I'm putting on my receptacle. This is fridge. These wires here are all going to be for the under counter plugs. This is basically my microwave. These wires here are going to be for inside the cabinetry, pot lights you call them, sorry. There's 3 locations. And then here again, I have the same thing as the nanny's kitchen. I have one gas stove receptacle and I have one regular stove receptacle. And then in this area, we're going to have 2 islands. So I have my receptacles for my island. I have one for my dishwasher. And then I have another island here. So that's going to be for my receptacles. Reason why I use my car line is because they actually use some type of concrete in here. So by code, I have to use the car line, which is this, to protect my wire. If I don't use that after a time, it will eat away at the wire and it will lose its strength. So that's the reason why I have to use this in order to protect my cable. And in this area here, I have my security wire, which was all done by me. Okay, these are basically window contacts, and this is going to be for the shade windows, shade blinds. And I'm going to have 8 pot lights, all one line. I have one center light on this side, same concept. 8 pot lights, up east badness, and then I have one center light also with 2 speaker cables inside this room. One here, one on this side, and as you can see, I have my cables all strapped with the 2x4 on the top, just to avoid once the guys start to do their drywall, my wires don't get nicked and cause problems. So for that reason, I install my plywood on the top to be on the safe side. And these switches here will be for the lighting inside the kitchen. There's going to be 6 switches here. This here is going to be the Lutron keypad. This switch here will be for this area, which will control the center light. And I also have four pot lights in this area. That wire that's sticking out here is basically security for one smoke, just in case there's the carbon monoxide, it would trigger the security alarm system. That wire is basically a motion detector. And here at these windows, at this door, I have my Lutron wire, which will be for the blinds. I have my contact, one in the middle for it's going to be a brake contact, just in case they decide to break the glass. This is going to be the keypad for the security system. These switches are basically going to be for the outside pot lights, outside wall lights. And then we have this room here. This room here will be the family room, where they will have a fridge in this area. This cable here is basically for LED strip lighting. There's going to be a sink here, so I have my 15 amp receptacle. And these are my receptacles for this room. It's all laid out to code. This wall here is going to have a gas fireplace. It's going to have data. It's going to have a TV. And I also pulled in an extra pipe just in case for the data. I don't know what they want to do inside of this room. And then we have more speaker cables. These are all speaker cables. These are all pot lights. So everything was laser out, everything is straight. Up TSC exclusive. And then you go into this area. This is going to be a center light chandelier, I think they're going to use in this area. And then I have one smoke detector inside this area because if the smoke goes off by the time the smoke gets in here, they'll be dead pretty much. No, this is a request from the engineer. They're the one who designed it. So I just followed the layout that they gave me pretty much. So you see I have all of these pot lights here. And then I still have my my shade windows. I have my my contact for the break-in of the windows. I have my security contacts also, just in case they want to open the window, it will trigger the alarm. This here also, I have same thing as the other side. And then we're going to, and I also have my floor receptacles here. So as I said, I use the car line to protect the wire so it doesn't eat away after a time. And this here will be my switches all for the family area. This is basically an elevator. And I also have 3 pot lights here. You go on to this side here. I have 2 pot lights. I have 1 smoke. And then I go on to this other side here. I have 4 pot lights with 1 smoke. So again, the reason why I have 2 smoke detectors on this in this one area, by the time the smoke reaches the other side, it will be too long for someone to get out the house. So there's a rule where you have to have a certain when you have a certain distance, you have to install another smoke detector. And then I'm going to go into this. These wires here are basically going to be under the stairs lighting. So I basically tuck my wires on the outside. Once they install the stairs, I can run my wires and I can do my lighting on the stairs. This switch by code, I have to have a switch coming up at the top of the stairs, but the stairs is not going to be here. So that was requested by the client. So the stairs is actually going to go across and then go straight up like that. This area will all be open. And then we're going to, yeah, it's a smart setup as a Mario. And then you go into this area. I have have one smoke detector. Reason why I have detector inside this room, there's going to be a there's going to be a door. So once the door is closed, you cannot if the person is inside this washroom, then they're not going to hear the alarm. Like I said, by the time someone gets to them, it'd be too late. They wouldn't get out the house in time. This is basically a washroom here. Another washroom. These are two lights. That box there is for my LED mirror. That's my GFI. I have two pot lights in here, one fan, and this is basically for the toilet. It's a different type of toilet. I've never seen it before. It's the first time. And these are my switches. This is going to be one receptacle inside the baseboard. In this area, this is the entrance from the garage. So I have one, two, three, four, five. Good set of pot lights in here. I also have one smoke detector. Again, once you close the door, the smoke will not. By the time the smoke gets to you, you'll be dead. There's a contact. Then here I have my switches. Three-way entrance. You come into the door. You turn on your lights. You come on this side. You turn your lights off. This here is a dog wash area. There's going to be a sink here, so I have one receptacle here. This area is going to be a wash laundry area, washer and dryer with two pot lights. And then this is another receptacle I had to add. Wasn't too sure, but the inspector asked for it. I'm guessing because of the area where it's in. And then this is basically my electrical panel. So basically, if you can see, I have all my neutral wires tied in. I have all my ground wires tied in. The neutral wires that you see, which is the white wire, I don't have it tied in because it's going to go on an arc fault breaker. Okay. This is for my EV charger. And these wires are for my boilers. And here, as you can see, I have a whole lot of wires here that I have to sort out once I get here. There's security wire, cameras, all my Lutron cable, all my security cables. Everything is going to come here and it's going to go into a cabinet. This wire here is basically my feeder cable. It's a tech cable, it's called. It's very easy to use. Um, you just strip this back and you install it into the panel. And then I'm going to go into this room here. This room here, I have another 8 pot lights inside here. And as you can see, I use my insulation between the duct and my wire to prevent the fire from happening. I have one speaker cable here, and there's another speaker cable. And then I have my receptacles. These two boxes are basically for my boilers. I have one more receptacle here. And also by code, I have to leave enough space in between the plywood because it becomes a fire hazard. And I'm gonna have one TV and one data outlet. I still have to install my box. And then as you can see here, I have all my wood 2x4 placed on the top to prevent the guys from nicking my wires once they put the drywall. No, I don't explain to the client because the client wouldn't really know what's going on. I just come in to do my work, and if there's any questions that he wants to know, then I will gladly explain it to them. Sometimes they answer, sometimes they don't. They, you know, they just want the work done, and that's it. And if you go here, this is basically the back of the house where I'll have, as you can see, there's going to be cameras all over. I didn't run the camera wires. Um, I I can run cameras, but it was done by another contractor. So these are basically their pot lights here, and then I'm going to have my receptacles. There's one receptacle here. There's quite a bit of receptacles out here. There's a couple of I have 5 in total walls constants along with the receptacle. It's all in line with each other. And then I have one speaker on the wall. I have another speaker here on the wall, along with a walls constant and an outlet. Then I have another speaker here also, walls constant and an outlet. Same thing here. Another speaker cable, walls constant, another outlet. Same thing here. There's a walls constant, outlet, speaker cable, and that's going to be for the camera. And then this, I go into this area here. This is going to be a kitchen. This is going to be a kitchen. No joke, I know, bro. It's serious thinking and takes a lot of planning. And because I have all the knowledge in my head already, I don't really have to double check the code book. Just for certain stuff, I will go into my code and check to make sure that my rules are lined up. This is basically a kitchen here on the outside. So I brought up a couple receptacles for the kitchen. And then here you see these are lights. These are going to be floor lights. It's going to be all floor lights, LED floor lights. You can see. This here will be a stairs. So this obviously is not done yet. I still have one pot light plate to install, but I'm not going to risk my life to try to install a pot light plate where it's not safe for me. So I will wait till whatever they have to do to install my pot light plate. And these are going to be 2 speaker cables that's going to come over into the center along with my pot lights here. This area here is going to be open. I'm going to have all my pot lights here. I have to build this scaffold. I started it, but the guys, they took the scaffold down, so now I have to build my own scaffold eventually when I get to it. Okay, that one blue wire there, that's basically coming on the outside to feed all my all my pot lights in this area. So eventually I'll get to building the scaffold, not sure when. And then as you can see, I have some pot lights on the outside. I'm not sure if you can see, maybe the sun. It's going to be pot lights in the east trough. And then this here is going to be basically my pool area. So I'll have my lights inside this area. Pool's not finished yet, so I still have to ground the pool off. So I basically have to take my ground wire and I have to ground this side of the pool. As long as I ground one side, the pool is protected. Everyone is protected once they're inside of that pool. This here is a hot tub, and this is my ground wire that's coming out. I basically grounded this off to the rebar. I brought two sets of ground cables. One's going to go over to the pool, and the other one is going to go over to this area once they install all of their pipe work and stuff, where I can eventually ground all the equipment off. This is basically a pool house. I have one light on the outside. I have another light here. I'm gonna have some speakers on the outside. I still have to bring my cable up. This is going to be basically one receptacle here. Then you go over to this side here. I have another light on the outside, another receptacle. And then you go into this pool house here. So the reason why I'm doing this video today is because no one is on the job site, and I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to have any kind of, what do you call it, noise in the background. So I took the opportunity to go live today. I also went live yesterday. Um, okay, so I have my receptacles in here. It's basically a pool house. It's going to be a fireplace, the TV receptacle, this data receptacle here. I have some pot lights here. They weren't supposed to close up here because I still have to run my wires, but eventually when I get back to here, I would just be cutting the bag open to run my other cables. This is my switch for this room. Okay, one switch for this area. The other switch will be for the outside. And this area here, basically there's going to be a tunnel. So they have to build a stairs. This cable will be my lighting for in this area. Once they build the stairs, I have to run a three-way wire from here down to the other side of the stairs. And then I go into this area, it's going to be a small kitchen. So I'm going to have one receptacle here, another receptacle here, and then I have my fridge receptacle here. You go into this area here. This is the washroom. So I have basically four pot lights, and I have one for my fan. Again, these guys, I'm not sure why they installed the vapor barrier, even though I told them not to, but I will take care of that. And then there's a shower pot light. Again, shower pot light, it's not a regular pot light that you install. It's basically a wet location pot light that you install. You have to install it by code. Not the inspector will give you a defect once he comes to check the job at the end. One GFI here. And then here I'm going to have my switches. for the washroom, so I still have to put my wires in here. Sorry, my boxes. I have to put my wires into the box. And then I'm going to leave this area. And I'm going to go here. So basically here I have three sets of pipes that I ran. One is going to feed this pool house. The other two is for uh, the generator feed. I'm not sure why the engineer made me brought it here, even though I told him. But again, I will probably have to back that pipe back up because the generator is going to be too close to the other house, and you cannot have that by code. It's actually a building code, I think. And basically, you go on the side of the house here, you'll see I have, there's going to be lots of pot lights on the outside here. I'm not sure if you can see the holes, but you might not be able to, or you might be able to. There's going to be a ton of pot lights on the side of the house. And then if I keep going here, these two red cables will be for the AC unit. And then I have one cable that I brought out just in case for the the tree lighting. Then I have another set of cables here. These cables are going over to the entrance gate. So eventually I'll have to put a box into that. And these two pipes here are basically for the generator, but it was relocated to the other side. So if you watch my previous videos, you will see me saying about relocating my pipes for the generator because the meter base was supposed to be on this side. And so with the meter base, you're going to have it's called I don't remember the name by heart right now. It's basically for the generator where you will connect it onto the meter base, and that's where you would feed. It's a backup system, and that's where you would install your pipes. So these pipes again are going to go on to the other side. And then here will be the front of the house. I'm going to have a couple walls constants here, along with my pot lights. That's going to be all around the house. And you're going to hear this will be my garage. So inside my garage, I'm going to have my switches here. It's going to be three-way switches. One's going to be for that door here, and the other one is going to go down to the elevator. This pipe here is basically what I ran to the other side for my generator. This pipe is going to be the controls for the generator. This here is going to be a receptacle for the garage. This will be another receptacle, and that will be for the EV charger. And then on the top here, I'm going to have two receptacles. Garage door opener. And also I'm going to have two lights in here. So my wire is basically here. So eventually I have to get up top and run my wire. There'll be one light here, one light, and there'll be another light here. And then you can see I have all my security cables I came through the garage to go over to the entrance door, and then this is basically my this will be the garage to drive down. I have 6 spotlights in this area, and that's it. So unfortunately, I'm not going to go into the basement because the basements don't have the lighting where I can show you um, what I've done. So I'm not going to go into the garage right now. And again, thank you all for tuning into my let you see the toilet again. Okay, which toilet is that? 1 second here. Okay. The so this is the toilet here. Again, like I said, it's the first time I'm seeing it. It's probably been around for a long time, but I've never seen this type of toilet before. Okay, it's sorry, it's not a toilet. It's just where they're going to hook the toilet onto. It's not a toilet. It's where they're going to be hooking the toilet onto where the water will drain down and stuff like that. And again, the other toilets that are in here, they all have the receptacles that will be plugged in for power. I don't think I missed anything on this floor here. And again, this area here, these are temporary stairs. This area is going to be all open. This area is just temporary so we can work upstairs. Okay, and I think that's it. So again, thank you all for tuning in to my video. And please like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And thank you. Okay. How do I end this now?